Welcome back to Outside the Fly Box. This video we are going to tie what I call the LL Minnow. The reason why I call it the LL Minnow is because it's basically tied the same way that the Lefty's Deceivers tied, except for just modern materials, and I finished the head a little different. But other than that, I mean, it's tied in with the tail the same way. Shoulders are tied in. You know, I really feel like there's not a lot of original flies out there, but at any rate, this is the one we're going to do. Alright, let's get twirling. Alright, in the vise I have just a straight shank round bend worm hook, Bass Pro Shop, nothing fancy. And my thread that I'm using is my 3/0 uni thread. And outside of that, I'll just explain to what I have as I put it all together. So, let me get started with the thread, obviously. Start in the front, kind of work your way back. I will get there in a hurry and then stack some really nice pieces right where I'm going to put my tail in, which would be there. And then what I end up having is it's about 1.5 inch section of bait fish emulator flash. I think this is 3 inch. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 inch. And that will take your 1.5 inch section of it, cut the tip off of it that kind of joins it, and what I will do is take the rest of this and just squeeze it in down and around the hook, because I want it to go all the way around the shank of the hook. Almost like, I guess, you're spinning hair or something. I don't really want and then hammer it down. That's good. And I'll throw a 1/2 inch in. Should never want to go anywheres. And wrap this forward. And then, to make it a little tougher, I will take a little bit of super glue. If I can get it out of the bottle. There we are. Because I do fish for some toothy critters. That's good. And these are probably more like 1.25 inch sections of the bait fish emulator flash. Same thing. Cut the edge off. And these I will tie in as shoulders, left and right side. Leaving a little bit of space up front because I got to be able to tie my head in. That's the left side. Super glue still a little wet. Same thing, 1.25 inch maybe. Cut the strung section off. You might not even need to, but just out of force of habit, I definitely will. And again, tie that as a shoulder. And pretty good. 1/2 inch, because I just have a 1/2 inch problem. And then from here, what I will do is make a small dubbing loop. If my fly will stay still, I'll make a small dubbing loop. Wrap this forward, 1/2 inch so it doesn't slide off the eye. Try to keep that out of your way. And then what I do, here is probably the same thing, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of your baitfish emulator flash. Cut off the strung section. Then I will fold it in half. And cut it. Then fish out my dubbing hook. Stick it in there with my finger. So I hold it open. Put it in. A little bit of twist to pinch it. And then just start spreading this nonsense out. I used to be really particular about how this comes, but I don't know, I feel like the more times I've done this over the years, you don't need to be as particular. This is almost ends up being, well, you definitely could. You could probably use a dubbing brush to do this. I just, and it's just how I do it. And then spin it up. And then you're going to palmer this forward. It looks kind of messy, but when I put my Mylar see, that actually got out of your way that time. Yay me. Pull her back. Snip off the tag. Quick little whip. Cut that off. And this is something I don't know, I just came up with this on my own. I'm probably not the only person that does this, but this is a large easy body. So what I do is I take a section of it that's only a little bit bigger than the eye that I'm going to use, and from there I'll cut the piece off, and then I will singe the ends of these and kind of roll them up, so when I throw the thread back over it, it doesn't slide off. And put that on. Slide it back a little bit. Restart your thread. Cut the tag. Pull that back forward right to where you want it. And then cinch it down. And there you go. Not bad. Then whip it. I don't usually do doubles because I'm going to epoxy this head in, or UV resin, whichever way you want to look at it. And then these are just the big flat eyes that I use. I will take these, bend them in half, sort of. Obviously you don't want the sticky side to touch, but you want to get a little bit of a, you can see it, a little bit of a curve to it. And try to run the bend with the shank of the hook so it kind of has more of a natural shape to it. Same thing. Just don't want the sticky side touch. And then get your glue. Pull this because I like to lean on it. And from here, the first thing I will almost always do is I cover the eyes, just so they off the outside edge, so the glue runs down around the sides of it. and onto whatever you're gluing it to, and then fill the eye in. And for me, these, even when they're done, they look very holographic without spending the money on them. I don't spend a lot of time with the torch on there because I'm going to stick it up in the window in the sun and let it cure a day or so, or until I get to use it. Not quite. Yep, just enough to get her to stay. Across the top of the head. Down over your wraps. Then the bottom. Catch the wraps. And then just a matter of touching up whatever I miss. Like there's a little gap right here in the edge of the wraps. Not a lot, just a little. But almost every fly that I tie, whether it's a new style fly or something creative or whatever, I almost always will put this type of head on them. I just love the way they come out. I mean, obviously it's not always white. I use different colors, tubings, different eyes. And then from here, all you do is trim it. I mean, you can even put a little red beer on it if you want. Get really go crazy. So let me trim it back up real quick, and I'll come back and there you have it. The L Minnow, all trimmed up and ready to roll. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Always remember to think outside the fly box. See you guys next time.